What's up YouTube, Webbers5 here, coming out today with a brief update to my Tenyi deck profile. So guys, for those who saw last week, I didn't actually post the deck last week, but for those of you who saw my recent tournament, you may have noticed I'm playing quite a few different cards within that last week. So several people on my last profile gave me some suggestions of stuff I could be playing. I decided to test them out. There was some stuff I was unsure of, so I decided to give it a go. So in total, I've changed about 15 cards since I last played the deck, so I figured it was pretty much a good point that I could just give you guys a quick update. So let's get into the profile, but before we do, I want to do my shoutouts as always to new subscribers. Kevin, I apologize if I get the pronunciations of these wrong. Kevin Zhang and Mark Becker. Thank you so much for subscribing, guys. And for those of you who also noticed, I finally hit that lovely 500 count, so really pleased about that. Thank you so much, guys. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And without further ado, let's get into the profile. Okay, I guess let's starting the profile off. Usually when I go through a deck profile, I explain most of what the cards do, but naturally, as I did the original video of this last week, I'm pretty much going to skip over most of the effects, but I will leave a link at the end of the video leading back to the first deck profile in case anyone's interested in what the stuff knows. But so I'm pretty much only going to be going through the main changes I've made since last week. So starting the profile off, got 3 Tenyi Spirit Ashuna, 3 Vashuda, starting with the 3 ofs, 3 Sathana, and 3 Adara. So playing these as the 3 offs because they're essentially the best ones. Ashuna tutors a new monster from the deck. Vashuda bounces a card. Sathana brings back one of your destroyed monsters, and Adara recurs resources and is your tuner monster. So maxing out on each of those. And then the last in the Tenyi lineup, 1 Mapura and 1 Nahata. I'm not saying these guys are bad, they're just not as good as the other ones. Their effects are extremely more situational. Mapura stops a targeting effect, and Nahata drops an opposing monster's stats by 15, which can come up, just not too frequently. So, they're iffy. And next in the lineup, 1 Mare. So this is primarily for a combo extender with Shaman of the Tenyi. So in my last video, somebody named LM asked me why not play 2 to 3 of this card because he seems really good. Mare is very good in the deck because it can tutor so much good advantage. But naturally, Mare can only be special summoned for the effect of a worm monster, which is essentially what you use the Shaman for. The reason I play 1 is because I never really want to see Mare in my hand. I always want to send it to my grave with any of my ways of sending it to grave, and then res it with the Mare. I mean, yes, I can always use I can always use Shaman's effect, discarding Mare from my hand, which is one of the advantages of playing it. I can discard it and then immediately bring it back. Because it's discard, then target its cost, so all it requires for me to do the effect of Shaman is to have a valid worm in the grave, which if I've summoned it, I'm going to have a worm in the grave. So, but yeah, I ideally didn't want it to be too much of a brick, so that's why I'm only playing 1. But I've seen some builds like playing 2 of this, so I don't know, it's something I can think about, but for now, I'm happy with it at 1. Next in my lineup, this is a new thing I've added. This is one of the new things I've added in. Something I was thinking about for a while. I saw somebody playing this at YCS, and I thought, okay, good, this is actually an idea for the deck. Playing 3 Rescue Rabbit and 3 Mystery Shell Dragon. So I've been thinking about doing this because Mystery Shell Dragon is a normal worm, and Rescue Rabbit into Mystery Shell is essentially instant Shaman. But there's also other stuff I can do. It. And frankly, with this deck, you don't really... One of the reasons I thought of playing this is because in this deck, you don't really use your normal summon. So that's why I decided to play Rescue Rabbit, because that's the use of my normal summon. It tutors 2 of these out of the deck. Because Mystery Shell's a non-effect monster, I can still do my Tenyi play. Plays. And then there's also other stuff that I can take advantage of the Mystery Shell. The main reason I was thinking about playing this is because of the new Link 3 Tenyi Tenyi Master of Dragon, who lets you pop cards equal to the number of non-effect monsters you control and in your grave. So I thought, by playing this engine, that's essentially 2 free pops I'm getting, plus anything else that I go into. And so far, I'm really liking it. And naturally, if I've opened too many rescue rabbits, I've got Shaman. Shaman lets me discard. Shaman makes me discard stuff from my hand, so just discard the dead rabbits. Easy. And Mystery Shell on its own isn't bad because it's a solid just 2k. Next, I changed up my hand trap lineup, so I've essentially cut most of it and just played this instead. 3 DD Crow, because guys, right now DD Crow is just like one of the best hand traps right now. And in a deck like this where you can play hand traps, I figured I might as well just be playing it. DD Crow is coming. This card is probably like my favorite hand trap ever made. I can think of so many times in the past few years that I've won my matchup just by DD Crowing the right card. So yeah, love this so much. Next, playing 3 copies of Gamma Seal. So this was recommended on my last video as well by someone called, again, apologies if I got this wrong, Thomas Fraunheim. He asked me if I've thought about playing Kaijus and or Baxia. So I decided to give the Kaijus a try because in lots of testing with Tenyi, I've had lots of moments where I'm like, if I only had a Kaiju. Actually, not just through Tenyi, I get that with so many decks that I play. I'm like, I sometimes just get that situation where you're like, oh, I wish I had a Kaiju. So now I'm main decking Kaijus, and it's pretty useful in this matchup as well. As in terms of the Baxia, I've thought about it, but where I see it is Baxia just gets me a maximum of 2 spins, and then the second effect probably isn't going to come up too frequently. And there's other level 8 synchros that I'd rather be playing. So, but yeah, Thomas, definitely thank you for recommending playing Gamma Seal because I'm loving it. And then last monster in my lineup, this is part of something in regards to my extra deck, playing 1 copy of World Chalice Guard Dragon, because since Adora is a level 1 tuner and I can easily drop level 4s, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try the IB engine with World Legacy and just see if it helps. And World Chalice Guard Dragon's got the effect that you can banish it to res a normal monster in my graveyard, and since I'm now playing the Rescue Rabbit engine for the Mystery Shell, it's a free res of that, which isn't so bad. And then going into the spells, I'll just continue on with the World Legacy stuff. So the spell targets I've got for my IB Synchro are 2 copies of World Legacy Succession. Frankly, out of all the World Legacy cards, it's probably the only one I want. And the new Dragon Fist has 3 link arrows that point down, so it's a pretty easy card to use. Continuing on with the spells, start with probably the best spell in the deck, 3 Vessel of the Dragon Cycle. So this is your Foolish Burial combined with a Rotor, provided you've got a non-effect monster in your field. Generally the stuff you want to send for its effect, the best stuff is Mashuna, Vishuda, or Meh. So they're probably the 3 best ones. If you're going first, probably recommend, which is very rare because in Tenyi you don't really want to go first because it's a very aggressive deck. But on the off chance you go first, Ashuna is probably your best target, so you've got a free special summon. If you're going second, depending on your hand, if you've already got access to say a Vishuda, if you've already got access to the Vishuda, then probably send Meh to go through your combo. But if there's something you're more worried about first, as opposed to doing your full extension with Meh, send the Vishuda so you've got at least a bounce before you want to go into your proper combo. Then continuing with the spells, playing 2 of the field spell, Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi. So makes your vanillas unaffected by monster effects, and if your opponent special summons an effect monster while you control a face down monster or a non-effect monster, you get to draw 2 cards. So yeah, it's pretty useful for drawing out cards on your opponent's turn. That's also why you can play hand traps in the build, because if you've got this and a vanilla on your board, you can just keep drawing in your opponent's turn. I've tried this with Exodia as well in Battle Royale, and it was quite fun with that. And it also says face down. And because it also says face down monsters, I picked this card up in bulk just in case any Shadol players were thinking of trying this out, because naturally the Shadol field spell is terrible. Next in the spell lineup, 3 Call by the Grave, because hand traps really hurt this deck. It's very fragile, so naturally things like naturally Ash against like your Ashuna kind of can sort of end your turn, like Bell to stop your recovery from Shaman, or just DD Crow in general, or Lancia. Like, guys, there's just so many hand traps that can shut down this deck, so I feel main deck and Call by the Grave is a really good call for the moment. Then last spells I'm playing, 1 Foolish Burial, again, just because your deck works well in the grave, why wouldn't you play it? And then 1 Monster Reborn, just because, why not? Okay, so that's it for the main deck, guys. Going into the extra deck, I've had a couple of changes to this as well. So playing 3 Monk of the Tenyi is your startup card. Not really much else to say. He's a non-effect monster. Why am I still talking about this? 2 Shaman. I cut this back to 2 because I needed to make space for some other stuff I wanted to play. But Shaman, she's amazing. So like I said, she discards one to res a worm, and then her second effect is also quite useful. That if a non-effect monster declares an attack, you can target a card on the field and destroy it. So that's pretty useful for spot removal. 1 Berserker. He's your beater. Enough said. 1 Draco Master to the Tenyi. In recent testing, this is essentially the card I want to get out as fast as. This is the monster I kind of want to go into very quickly, because once I've set up with my Draco Masters, I'm pretty much in a very good position to win the game. So he's immune to battle. He's immune to being destroyed in battle with effect monsters, which is essentially everything in the meta. So that's really good. And if you control no other effect monsters, you can pop effect monsters your opponent controls up to the number of non-effect monsters you control and or in your graveyard, which is part of the other reason, which as I said before is part of the reason I'm using the Rescue Rabbit engine. He's a 26 and he's a link 3 that points down. His summon requirements are also very useful. It's just 2+ monsters including a link monster, so it's exactly the same as Berserker. So even if you don't use him for his main effects, he still can't be destroyed out with effect monsters. So for those thinking of wanting like a decent link just to open extra deck plays, this Draco Master of the Tenyi just might be the card for you. Okay, next go into it, playing 1 of the new IP Masquerena. So she's pretty So I find her pretty useful for setting up into my Draco Masters, because any monster summoned with Masquerena can't be destroyed by card effects, which combined with Master's first effect makes it that he can't be destroyed in battle or by card effects, which is really useful. Naturally, then his only weakness is targeting, but there are only minimum target effects in the game. But still. And then Masquerena's effect, and then playing Masquerena also puts my opponent at worry, because if I keep it on my field for the opponent's turn, I could make my opponent worry that I'm playing a Unicorn. I actually feel I should be playing Unicorn in this, and I'm not, but I haven't figured out space for it yet. Once I'm done going through the extra deck, if anyone can recommend a space for it, let me know. But yeah, so far I'm liking her. She's really useful. 1 land foe. Just another vanilla. He's another vanilla, so pretty useful if say I'm just setting up maybe with the Rescue Rabbit. If I'm just setting up my board, or useful setting up going second as well. If I've got lots of Tenyis in my hand and I want to just special summon them. So if say I don't want to do the Shaman because I don't got resources in my hand I want to discard, or there's nothing I feel like worth rezzing, I can just make land foe, special summon another monster, then I can make one of my big link 3s. 1 Link Spider and 1 Link Karibo. These are my targets for essentially going into like Berserker in the main monster zone after I do Shaman into the Mare. So Mare summons 3 tokens that are all level 1. So Link Aruba can use level 1, and because it's a token which adds a normal monster, Link Spider works for that as well. And this next and last Link I'm playing is One Decode Talker Extended. Just put this in as a generic Link. I haven't really used it much at all. I'm not really sure about it. I just put it in because I like the multi-attacking effect, depending on if my opponent's stupid and puts something in the perfect zone for a decode. But I've been thinking maybe I want to try playing Avramax instead, or I might just play Unicorn like most people are playing because of, Masquerena. But I'm still having a think. Guys, this is probably the thing I'll take out and put something else in. If you guys have any suggestions of which one I should be playing, if it's like Avramax, Unicorn, or also see that some people use Masquerena to go into like Trishbana. So if anyone's got any suggestions, let me know. So that's it for the links, and then the synchros I'm playing. One Ib. So yeah, she's pretty. So yeah, I'm liking her as a combo extender to search into the World Legacy Succession, so I can bring back like Berserker when I've got Draco Masters on board, or pretty much just any of my really good monsters. And yeah, so she's pretty fun. Pretty easy to summon to make as well. 1 Omega to recur my resources. And finally, 1 Draco Berserker. So I cut this back from 2 to make space for other stuff. And generally you only really need 1 Berserker because both of Berserker's effects are once per turn and per name. So Berserker once per. So if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish it. I did this against a Danger player when he did Snake in Hand. I was like, okay, on the effect of Snake, effect of Berserker, banish it. Then as per rules, it resolves as much as possible, so they discard a card. They can't summon the Snake because it's not in their hand, so depending what they discard, they go at least -1, and if they discard something with bad synergy in the grave, they go -2, which is just insane. And it's and then if he kills an effect monster in battle, gains the attack, and then he can attack again on another monster. I hate that it says another monster, but I understand. It would be kind of insane if it was just like, oh, I've killed an effect monster, now I can attack again. That's like... Guys, if it just said it can attack again and not on a monster, I think a lot of people would just play this over Boral Sword. That being said, in my pendulums at the moment, I'm playing this and Boral Sword. So that's it for the main and extra deck. If anyone's wondering what my side deck was that I played in my recent tournament, don't really need to explain most of these too much, but the side deck I was playing, 3 Lancia, 3 Pancratops, 3 Mind Control, 3 and 3 Red Reboot. Very, very basic side deck for a very, very basic meta that we're in at the moment. Okay guys, so that's the deck profile. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a comment down in the description. Leave a comment below on what you thought of it. And guys, like I said, if you could think of a suggestion of whether I should play Nightmare Unicorn or Avramax or just something else as opposed to the Decode Talker Extended, let me know down in the comments below because I would really appreciate that. I'm kind of stuck on the decision right now. But again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to Webbers5, and if you're already subscribed, feel free to hit that notification bell so that you never miss an upload.